So you're running down big goals and you got this list, right? Your checklist, all these boxes you can check. And the secret is you're probably never going to be able to check every single box before a major life event or a big tournament or a Super Bowl or whatever. You just check as many boxes as you can. And then when that deadline comes, that date, this is the date. This is the date of the TEDx talk. This is the date of the Super Bowl. This is the date the big project has to be done. Whatever the case may be, you got what you got. And when you step in that room, when you step in that arena, when you step in on that mat, you got to be ready. You got to believe it's your day. It's your time. And you can feel fully prepared. You're never completely prepared. The unexpected can happen in any arena. The power goes out. You're a singer. The power goes out. You're giving a big presentation and the computer's not working right. Whatever, you go to a tournament, a match, and whatever, your coach got sick, your coach isn't going to be there. Whatever, all kinds of things. There's all kinds of uncertainty that surrounds our life and even the big moments. And guess what? That uncertainty is what gives value and meaning to things. The fact that things can go wrong, the fact that I could go to a jiu-jitsu tournament and maybe these old injuries, these nagging injuries, maybe one of them could act up. Guess what? That's a challenge for me that I accept. That's the fun of it. The fun of it is finding ways to win despite the uncertainty, despite the things that could go wrong. That's the fun of it. I'm going to do tournaments at this stage of my life, at an advanced stage of my life, because it means something, because there is uncertainty. Any tournament could be my last tournament. Any match could be my last match, and that makes it really meaningful. That makes winning feel really good. You look back and you're like, wow, I was able to rise up. I was able to get it done despite this hurting, despite this hurdle, despite this going on in my personal life, despite the fact that maybe my coach didn't make it to the event. Whatever the case is, that's the beauty of it too. So you never freak out because you can't check every box. Because if you're hunting down something big, you ain't going to be able to check every single box. There's always going to be things you have to work around. Things can go wrong. And a lot of us, we're control freaks and we want every single thing accounted for, but that's an illusion. Kyle Dake, the 4-time national champion wrestler, won world national titles in 4 different weight classes. And they said, what's the key, Kyle Dake, to your wrestling? What's the key? And he said, it's adapting. And what did he mean? He meant mid-match, in the middle of a match, he can adapt. He knows how to adapt to the other guy's style, to what the other guy's doing. It's improvisation. Same thing for me as a journalist when I'm interviewing people. I've always said I can give other people the script. I can give you the script and say, look, here's the 20 questions I'm going to ask. Whenever you interview so-and-so, here's the 20 questions. It'll be a completely different interview. We'll go in there with the same script of 20 questions. I'm going to get a way different interview than the others. Why? Because there are a lot of other variables. There's improvisation built. A great interview and a great interviewer knows the art of improvisation. They can read situations. You hear somebody give an answer. You have to know when to go completely off script. Say, wait, I got these 20 questions, but these aren't the story. This person, I listened, they gave me the story. And you'd be willing to improvise. And also, when you interview someone, it's like quantum physics 101. The nature of the matter depends on the observer. The matter can change depending on the observer, right? It's the same with an interview. When you're interviewing someone, you're putting your energy in the room. They decide if they trust you enough to speak candidly or if they want to close up. There's a lot of variables there. There's a lot of uncertainty even built into an interview. Anything can happen, especially a live interview. But again, checking the boxes. Very important in goal achievement. You got your diet, you got peak training, rest days, knowing when to pull back, knowing when to push forward. You've got mindset, you've got meditation, you've got visualization, you've got how do you drill better, you've got your brain trust in the people that are close to you and learning how to utilize those pieces to get closer with our goals. A lot of different moving parts in checklists. And at the end of the day, when that deadline comes and it's time, hey, this is the big date for whatever, don't freak out. You got to go, when you step on that mat or you step into that arena, that field of play on that big day, it's got to be, look, I prepared as much as I can, and you got to always believe in yourself that you can improvise. You can adapt just like Kyle Dake did. You can just adapt in the heat of the moment. Okay, if all else fails, worst case scenario, fight gone bad, I adapt. I adapt mid-fight, and I'll find a way, and I'll make it happen. right? You got to be ready to always go off script. Sometimes in the heat of battle, you might have to go off script and be ready to improvise like a Robin Williams. To me, that's the mark of the great ones. The great ones can improvise. They check as many boxes. They put the work in. They fully prepare. They check as many boxes. But their mind is open to, if I have to adapt mid-match or mid-event, I will. They're ready to improvise on a dime. Recognize the situation. Look, I got to go over here. Even though maybe you didn't prepare that as much in your training, but something uncertain happened. You got to be ready to boom. You got to be ready to improvise and get it done and make it happen. Okay, that's at the top of my mind today. I hope that resonates with something that's going on with you guys. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on that, guys. Take care.